Good evening and welcome to Gustav Making Stuff. And now we have come to the point that this has been one of the most requested things for me to build, and I don't know why this took so much long time to do, but I have done other things that I think is interesting. However, now let's go and see now, so I can teach you how to build your own very nice T60 helmet. And to start with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will have a bucket. This is a very old bucket with full of cement dust, and also a hard hat. This might not be the best hard hat, but it's a useful hard hat. When you look for this, try to find a flat one as possible, because there is could be better things here. Anyway, so now let's take a little bit of a pencil here and actually draw. This will be the line, because it's actually going to be a little bit tilted to be attached to the hard hat's front there. So you see, cut a little bit at the time and see when it's about the right angle. You will fit inside it. So, because there is a little bit of a ledge for the eyes there going together on it. Anyway, so now we're drawing some lines here to see where it's supposed to be put on. And you see, there is already holes there on the side. I'm now gonna tape this so it will absolutely stay in place while I'm doing this. This is a very good way to do it, and you don't need to use like very expensive tape for this. I just use this very cheap tape I have. Anyway, so see, now I'm drilling and put some bolts there that will connect the bucket and the hard hat to one another. And now we're going to peel that off. So now everything is like secure in place and stuff like that. And we are now going to draw the face here. This is an A4 sheet. I don't know what's the American's name for it, but whatever, it's a paper. Anyway, so now let's like draw the face there. I'm looking at the computer monitor to see how it looks like roughly. You see, I will draw there, and on the side there it's very important to make a little line where they should stay together. I will very soon show you, but you see how I cut out here. Also cut out the eyes, because this is a bit of a complex part here, but you follow me, you see what I'm doing here. Now we will take this will be the pipe that will be on the inside for the side breathing apparatus, and you see that this will wrap around like that, and one of them will stay flat like that. And now we are going to take this fantastic pink foam I have here. This is some EBA training mattress foam with a little bit of a hacksaw on the sides there. So you see, I'm cutting now, so I will leave this there. Also, the eyes will be cut out later, so don't worry about that. But for structure, we will have them on as long as possible. You see, now they are that, and now we're taking the cut part of the tube there, and this is going to be folded over like this, and we are going to glue it in place. And for help by that, I'm using a little bit of tape. Don't worry, they will not be very visible. If there's damage on this, by the way, don't worry, work with it. You see, in the post-apocalypse, things will be dented. So now you see we have this part here that is being glued partly, and now I'm going to have to remove some of the part of the inside there. So I'm taking this massive drill. You can also drill several holes and then cut away with a knife, or take a little hacksaw. You see there. Now I'm doing 2 holes here on the side to attach this to the face with zip ties. And you see I have measured that out, 2 holes. You can also use bolt, but I think a zip tie will work pretty damn good for this, and it did. So you see, like that. Now this was very difficult to film, to understand, but I hope you see that I'm basically taking the zip tie and then pull it together and attach them to the face, like that. And now we're going to make 2 holes here. It's actually going to be 2 holes on the upper side, but I do cock that up, and it is the under part that we will have a hole that will be screwed together. The other one will have this little handle things going on. But don't worry, you will still use that hole for that. And now we're just gonna measuring here, and then take the drill and put some bolts, you see, like that. And don't make them too long, because else it will stick into your face. Because this is actually wearable. Anyway, so now we're going to do the other layer of the nostril breather thing here. This was the part where I thought like I should have done the whole thing in one big styrofoam part, but this is still a valuable, very good way, I think. There are many ways to do things, more than what I do. Anyway, so now you see we are going to cut this out, also out of this fantastic, very thick pink EVA foam. And don't worry about the ledges. We will soon grind this with a rotary tool. So you see, now we have it that, and now we're going to heat it a bit so it will shape around it. And now also we have to plug in these little holes here, because it has up in some layers, and they will also be fixed later on with a rotary tool, so don't worry about it. Now you see we will now have the little side part there, and just cutting out and glue it there and make sure it is the same angle. And now you see we have it starts to actually looks like a T60. They have very long faces, this T60, and they're in kind of a weird angle. Anyway, so now we are going to cut here the central part of the hard hat, and it will be inside because for some reason it looks like this in the Fallout universe instead of an actual hard hat would have a better structural support for falling damage. Anyway, this lid here will be put on this, so I draw a ring, and I have a little bit of cut to just push it in it like that. See, lovely. And now we are going to take some little bit of piece of foam here, strip, and glue it on the inside, so we will have the differential thing here. This sometimes I build in a rather weird order, but don't worry about it. Now, you see, we are going to put some Kindereg there, and this is plugs from a car battery, so you can put the liquids in, and also we have this car interior, whatever screws they are. That looks nice. I don't really know what the name are, but you can buy them in a car store with the car parts. So you see, now they will look like this. They were actually not the best part of this build, I think, but they will do. Might have to rethink this, but now it looks like very funky, but it will soon look very good with it. You see, I have a problem with this lid I had. This was actually cracking up, so I have this least cracked up thing. Don't worry, it has been battle damaged, this armor. So now I'm putting a little bit of a plastic inside there to cover that up, and now I'm going to actually have to remove a little bit of a foam here. It was too much, so I'm just going to cut that off in a little slight angle, because everything is a little bit angled. And also we're doing a little trench cut there and push in this pipe shrinkener. You use this for a smaller to a thicker pipe. And now we are going to cut out the eyes here. And you see I have done a little line there, because that is going to be when it has the angle inside to the eye, and I will soon do that to show you that. But have a very, very sharp, small knife there. You see, now I have cut, and now we're going to cut it that. So now we have to cut in an angle, and be very, very, very careful when you're doing this, because it's very easy to mess up. You see, I'm doing this into an angle that is ends in almost the end of into the eye, and you see that we're doing it like that. And now we are going to do a bunch of rotary tool thing here to smooth all the edges to make it more rounded like that. I didn't film it because it's very dusty, and I did it outside and it was very cold outside. Anyway, now this is plugs for PVC pipes, end plugs, and they are very good because they have these two layers of things. So I will put this other little lid like that, so it looks roughly like the said side of the head, because they have a little bit of special parts. I couldn't really find it, but that was the best thing that looks most like it. And now we have attached that with two bolts, and now we're going to take this 90-degree copper pipe here, copper bend anyway, and now cut it into two parts. So it will be the side over nostril breather thingy liquid, whatever these things are used for. And now you see, I'm just gonna cut some little holes and squeeze them in there. Now we're taking this bottle here, and we are going to make the light holder of it. And that is the absolutely best way to do this, because the shape is almost identical to what's in the game. You see, like that. I have done it to all my other power armor builds, so check them out, because here also I'm doing the side Oculus things, which I have done on the other ones also, so I skipped some steps. So you can watch them if you want to remind yourself, but otherwise you can just figure it out there. So you see, I'm drilled there, and now we are cutting away the axis and gluing it up. This is a vending ball machine with yellow plastic, which will be good enough to do. And now the front guard thing, whatever it's used for. There's so many parts, I don't know what they are used for in the Fallout universe. Anyway, so now also another part I don't really know the function of, but it looks interesting. So now you see I'm cutting this like that, and now just pushing it down and then glue it back. And now we're gonna cut all that away and make a hole here for the other part that looks like some kind of emergency vent stuff with the hole puncher, which is a very good tool I use very, very often. So now when that has been punched through, you're just going to have to use your nails and pull it out like that. And now we're going to take the smaller part of the hot glue, and we're going to heat it up and put it in an angle. And now we are going to take my silicone baking tray here, which I used for having the heat gun so it doesn't mess around. And now we're just going to push this, because this doesn't attach to the glue, so we can do this part very easily. And now we're just going to have to take the scissor and shape it to the part how it looks like in the game. And anyway, so now we are going to push that thing in, which I have digged out, and glue it into place like that. Also, we have to do the same thing on the other side, but that goes without saying. Now we're drilling a hole here to put in the hose that will go into the over front thing. I don't know why you use a hydraulic hose into your face, but well, whatever, it's Fallout. Now here we have some aluminum thicker wiring, which I'm just gonna cut out to do this little handling things for the eyes, which still I have no idea what they are useful in the game. Maybe to carry this thing around in the workshop. Now let's make some little rings there and attach them to that. And also now we're doing the details with the screws here. It's just some random screws I have left over. And you see, now we're just going to take some super glue and glue this to the plastic. And also attach some other small little detail screws that are a little bit everywhere on this. Sometimes they look like they are rivets, and sometimes it looks like they are screws, but I use screws all the time because I don't have so many spare rivets. And now we're just gonna take this. There are 8 of this pair of screws in the forehead. Now we are going to cut off the lower part here. And why I didn't do it from the beginning is because it's easier to have this to work with. So that's why the last thing we are going to do is cut these things off here. Like that. And you see how much all the dirty thing is inside. And now you see it works perfectly well, except that the eyes will be cut out also in the kind of last steps of this build. So now we are mixing up some gray paint. It is white and black. For you who don't know how to mix gray paint, that is how you do it. If you missed it, and now you know. Anyway, so now we are going to paint this. You could also spray paint this, because there is nothing that will, well, melt away. But I didn't have the correct gray color. But this will be also very good. Also, I have a lot of white paint like this, so that will be very good. And also, if I decide to make more gray stuff, I know how more gray paint, because gray paint is quite useful, or, well, common. So now we have painted all the little cracks and sides and weird things that you usually would miss. And I have to do second coating with it. Anyway, now we have a slightly grayer color, which we're just gonna smear on, so because otherwise it looks kind of static if everything has the exact same color everywhere, even if it's gonna be weathered or distressed or anything. But now we're going to actually have more colors like this. So just smear that on and let it dry again. You see, that's what it looks like now. Now we're going to take much darker colors and actually put it in the little side cracks and stuff like that, so, because this is actually the same principle to use as you know, when you apply makeup if you're a girl, to make your face look interesting. Also, if you're gonna be a drag queen, you can also do the same technique to transform your cheekbones to be fantastic. So now that's a very interesting comparison, I think. So now you see we have put on this. It looks kind of weird, but don't worry about it, because as you do when you take the powder to blend everything together when you're doing makeup, we will do the same thing here, but with metal paint instead. So now we will have it first a little bit of wet brushing, I would say, we don't have a lot of paint, but you will also have almost incredibly dry brush, and then dry this, and you will very soon see here, when I'm doing this as an example, you see now it's just very fast forward here on this part of the head, that you see now we have on the side thing here, and now you see there, and we have smeared it in, and it kind of looks like it's blending all together, but still it do not bring together because it has different colors on top of it, but it looks really good. It's magic, I think. So now you see my brush looks like this, is very, very well used, but don't throw away your well used brushes, because they are very good for weathering and doing things that looks like unintentional. And now we're going to take some black colors here to rub into the cracks to make the little details show up a little bit better. So now you see that the nostril things actually doesn't look that bad, but they are still too big. Maybe I should have cut them off in half or something. So now you see we are going to basically do this a little bit everywhere on the detail things, because this is very easy to overdo, so try to keep it as subtle as possible. So now you see we have the helmet here, and now we're gonna do rust. Rust in Fallout is a very interesting thing, because it has very brownish color. It doesn't really look rusted, it more looks like someone has just sprayed on grey, and then it has deteriorated by time. I don't know if this is a graphic engine or if it's anything, but anyway, we'll do it with a subtle little rusting here, because that looks much better than actually have it much more rusted. So light brown, and then dark brown, and then a little bit of red, so that will be looking fantastic, more like rust. And now we are going to cut out the eyes here. The reason why you can do this before, but if you're gonna cut it out anyway and then put in glass that you will actually see through, it's much easier to paint if you do this, the light thing. And now we're gonna put in some tuning plastic behind it, which is just, you can buy it in a car store and it's plastic. Anyway, this is me making the side piece, they're just clamping it all together. Anyway, the tuning plastic, it's for car windows, and then it glues on itself to plastic. And now a little bit of fake blood with dry in it is very fantastic to have this. And also we are going to now rub off the little bit of excess blood there. And I hope this was very informative. I would really like to build it, and sorry for all the time it took to make this. Now for a little bit of sign off. So, there we go! A T60 helmet! That is wearable and you can move. That's why I have so wide shoulders, so this nostril thing doesn't hit the face. And also very long chest, so they have space to move their head. They actually thought about it. So, here it is. Fantastic, isn't it, yeah?